As you guys can see, we are playing the original Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on Android. Let's get started. Hey, what's up guys, it's Bifrost here. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys the 2025 best method to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on your Android devices, on both low-end Android devices and high-end Android devices. I'll be showing you guys two emulators which work the best. But before getting started, let me talk about minimum requirements. You will need at least Android version 9 or above, along with that 4 GB of RAM, and that's about it. If you meet these minimum requirements, then you can also emulate this game on your Android devices. And if you are new here, then be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification as I upload similar videos. With that being said, let's get started. Alright guys, let's get started through today's video. I'll be showing you guys two methods as I mentioned before. One will be an emulator for low-end devices, the second will be for high-end devices. I'll show you guys the best settings as well, so let's get started. The first best emulator that we'll be using for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is going to be Citron Emulator. Now this is a new Nintendo Switch emulator for Android devices which runs Let's Go Pikachu very well on high-end devices or mid-range devices. But for low-end devices, we'll be using the Pine Nintendo Switch emulator which is available on its open source GitHub page. So you guys will be able to see this emulator was launched on 25th July and it is basically the best Nintendo Switch emulator for low-end Android devices. I have already added both of these emulators on my Android devices. This is the Pine emulator and this is the Citron emulator Android. Now to start using both of them, you'll need to set it up on your Android devices. To get started, we'll be trying out Citron emulator Android. It is very stable. You will not face any graphical issues while emulating Let's Go Pikachu in this emulator. So here we go. When you open this emulator, you will see welcome to Citron. Tap on I understand. Afterwards go to settings and here you will need to go to the manage game folder section where you will need to import the folder where you have dumped your own copy of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on your Android device. And here we go. You guys will be able to see all of my Nintendo Switch games have been successfully loaded and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is also present here. To start setting up this emulator, we'll immediately apply the best settings and it will have the similar minimum requirements which I mentioned during the intro. So we'll go to advanced settings, system, make sure to disable limit speed percentage. In terms of graphics, set the resolution to 0.75x. VSync mode, make sure to turn it off. Afterwards, aspect ratio shush to window, enable force maximum clocks and asynchronous shaders. Once that has been done, in debug, make sure to set the CPU backend as native code execution. After that has been done, you are all set to start trying out Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu inside the Citron emulator, but you can also import a custom graphics driver if you have a Snapdragon processor Android device. For today's video, I'll be using the Mesa Turnip Adreno driver version 25.0.0. If you guys want me to make a video on how to add custom graphics driver, then do let me know in the comment section down below. Basically with graphics driver, your Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu will get more FPS and better graphics quality. So I'll just go ahead and open the game and here we go. Your game will successfully start, but you will notice that you won't be able to control the game because of the controller layout. To fix this, you just have to swipe back. Afterwards go to controls, make sure to tap on player 1, enable this option and choose handheld as controller type. Once that has been done, now you guys will be able to see that your Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu will successfully start. And during the beginning cutscene, you will see some graphical issues, but those are temporary, don't mind it because the original game will not have any graphical issues. At the top left corner, you will also be able to see that we are getting 120 FPS, which is pretty amazing. I'll just go ahead and select the language and tap on begin game. And here we go, our Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu has successfully started in Citron emulator. This is the best method if you have high-end devices or mid-range devices and don't want to get any graphical issues while playing this game on your Android devices. With that being said, let me just go ahead and show you guys how to play Let's Go Pikachu on low-end devices. And when I mean low-end devices, I mean like 4 to 5 GB of RAM and a MediaTek processor and Android version 9 or above. So to get started, we'll be using the Pine emulator that I already showed you guys. To set it up, you'll need to choose the folder where you have dumped your own copy of Nintendo Switch games. Once that has been done, immediately as you guys will be able to see, everything will be detected inside of the Pine emulator. Now Pine emulator is a fork version of Skyline emulator and it is officially the best Nintendo Switch emulator for low-end Android devices. So let's apply the best settings. We'll go to the settings bar. Afterwards, make sure to disable dock mode for better performance. Enable show performance statistics. Aspect ratio, set it to device aspect ratio. Afterwards, CPU backend should be set as native code execution. Once that has been done, you can also import the graphics driver just like we did with Citron emulator. So I'll just go ahead and select the graphics driver which I imported. Afterwards, make sure to enable the disable frame throttling option and set the executor slot count scale to max. Once that has been done, make sure to enable force maximum GPU clocks and free guest texture memory. Once that has been done, scroll down, enable fast GPU readback as well as writes. Afterwards, we have now completely set up the Pine emulator to play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on low-end Android devices. Next up, you can also hold the screen and make sure to import your save file if you want to get a better experience. So I'll just go ahead and import my save file and you guys will be able to see save file successfully imported. The final step will be to simply tap on the play button and here we go, our game will successfully start. Now do note that as this emulator is well supported for low-end devices, you will get exceptionally high FPS on high-end devices, but this game surely does have some graphical issues and also freezing issues because this emulator is not stable. Nonetheless, as you guys will be able to see, I am playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on my Android device with almost 300 FPS, 380, 390 FPS. Oh my god, this is unbelievable frame rate, and actually it is very unplayable gameplay because the game is just moving too fast. But once you exit the house, your FPS will go down by a little bit. So here you will be able to see we are getting about 120 FPS now, but this is way more FPS than what you get in the Citron emulator or any other Nintendo Switch emulator for Android. And you will also be able to see that the graphics resolution will be 1x, but the only downside is that this emulator is not stable, so you gotta import save file multiple times because you will face crashing issues while using this emulator to play Let's Go Pikachu on Android in 2025. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification as I upload similar videos. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.